I lean quite heavily on skin tints and tinted moisturizers for everyday, easy, out the door fast, natural makeup looks. Especially in the summer with the bright sun, I just feel like these look more natural and youthful on my 63-year-old, very dry skin. Last spring I did a video where I reviewed and ranked 9 tinted moisturizers, which was a huge undertaking, and I swore I would never do that many again. So this year I am paring it down to 5 new-ish and new to me tinted moisturizers. However, to bring you an even larger selection, I am collabing with my beautiful friend Cindy, who has the channel Beyond 50 Skin. Cindy is a gorgeous silver sister. She is a very dear friend, and she has a fabulous channel. Lots and lots of skincare, hair care, health and wellness, and some lovely natural makeup. So after you finish this video, please pay Cindy a visit. I know you will love her as much as I do. I cannot wait to see what Cindy comes up with. As always, I do have timestamps, product links, and discount codes in the description box below. And with that, let's jump into it. In terms of complexion products, the lines can be a little blurry between skin tints, tinted moisturizers, and foundations, because certainly there are some skin tints with a little more coverage, as well as foundations with lighter coverage. So when I was selecting products to review, I included only those products that categorize themselves as skin tints or tinted moisturizers. Side note, I have yet to find a tinted moisturizer that can replace a standalone moisturizer on my very dry skin. If you have more combo or oily skin, a tinted moisturizer might be a one and done moisturizer slash skin tint, but I always wear a standalone moisturizer. In today's video for the demonstration of these products, I am wearing my Purito Unscented Centella Recovery Cream as my moisturizer and my Dermatology Broad Spectrum SPF 45. I chose the Dermatology because it is untinted, it's not overly glowy, and it accurately reflects the tint and the finish of the products. In last year's video, there were quite a few fails. Luckily this year there aren't any actual fails, although I do prefer some of these over some of the others, so I am going to very loosely rank these. Time will tell if any of these bump last year's favorites off the top of the list. I will link last year's video in the description box below. For reference, as it turns out, my most used tinted moisturizer from last year's video is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. In fact, I've almost used up an entire tube, and I just ordered a new one during the Tarte sale. And spoiler alert, my top 2 this year are so similar, they're almost a tie, except one is high-end and the other is drugstore. I have one on one side of my face and the other on the other side of my face. I can't tell the difference. Can you? Starting at the bottom, although like I said, there are no actual fails here today, but first up we have Kjaer WEIS The Beautiful Tint. I purchased this last year during the Kjaer WEIS Friends and Family sale. This runs $45 for 1.35 ounce or 40 mLs, making it $33 an ounce. This comes in 16 shades. In general, skin tints don't offer a huge shade range. I think the theory is because they are lighter coverage, the shades are more flexible, although I don't necessarily agree with that. I have this in the shade F4 Light Neutral, and although the shade does work pretty well for me, in spite of the fact it calls itself a neutral, it does pull a tad warm on my skin tone. Ingredients. Now, none of the skin tints I'm talking about today have any drying alcohol or essential oils. This does not contain SPF, which is totally okay with me because I always wear a standalone SPF. Other ingredient highlights include rosehip seed oil, hazelnut oil, glycerin, squalane, and mica. It does have perfume listed very last on the ingredient list, and although I enjoy the scent, it is on the strong side, although it does dissipate quickly. This is a very unique skin tint. First of all, I love the squeezy tube with a pump. It has a lightweight, almost gel-like texture. It dries down surprisingly fast, so you need to work very quickly. I recommend not dotting it all over your face. I apply and blend to one section at a time because it very quickly will become tacky and difficult to blend. I can already feel it sort of becoming tacky. Anyway, it's a really, really pretty skin tint. In general, I do apply skin tints with my fingers, and fingers definitely work best with this one. I did try it with a brush and I found it to look streaky. This offers sheer to light coverage. I did not find it to be buildable. It got very weird and streaky when I tried to build it. Of all the tints I am sharing with you today, this has the most unique finish. It sets down really quickly to a nice velvety touch, yet it retains a really lovely luminosity, not metallic or greasy or overly shiny. It does not accentuate dry patches. I don't feel the need to powder this, and I do find this to last quite well throughout the day. This is a gorgeous skin tint, and I do like it. I ranked it a little bit lower today for a couple of reasons. Number one, the shade. It just tends to pull a tad too warm for my skin tone at times. Number two, this can feel strangely drying on my super dry winter skin in spite of the fact that it's loaded with hydrators. And number three, I just find this to be a little bit tricky to apply. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a race to get it applied and blended before it starts setting down and getting tacky. For those reasons, I tend not to reach for this that often, and I probably am not going to repurchase this. These next two are really quite similar in finish. Very, very dewy, although one has more of a sheer to light coverage and one has more light to medium coverage. I do enjoy both of these, although I do think they will work better for my super dry winter skin, perhaps just a little too dewy for the summer where the heat and humidity gives me more than enough natural dew. If you have dry skin, you might love these. If you have oily skin, not so much. Starting with the lighter coverage tint, and that is the Saie Slip Tint SPF 35 using zinc oxide as a filter. Now, even though SPF 35 sounds fabulous, there is no way I can apply enough of this to achieve the actual SPF of 35. So this is more of a bonus than actual sun protection. This is priced at $36 for 1.35 ounce or 40 mLs, making this about $25 an ounce. This comes in 14 shades, and I have it in the shade 3, light medium peach, although this looks more neutral than peach on my skin. This is fragrance-free, cruelty-free, and vegan. It contains glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and argan oil. This claims to be a tinted moisturizer that offers skin-loving hydration with sheer, dewy coverage, and I agree with all those claims. This has a very interesting consistency. First of all, I love the squeezy pump. Now, even though that does look a little bit thicker on my skin, it has a very light and almost gel-like texture as it applies. It blends effortlessly with the fingers. It is definitely sheer. It can be built up just a tad for very light coverage at the most, and definitely dewy. This does stay tacky for quite a while, and I do prefer to set this with powder to take down some of the shine. This is not long lasting, and it's pretty much gone by the end of the day, no matter what I do. I do think this is really pretty on the skin. Even so, I think I will get more use out of it in the winter when my skin is extra dry for casual, no makeup errand days. I just don't see myself reaching for it that often this summer. It's just a little too dewy and wears off a little too quickly in the heat and humidity of the summer. Next up, we have the IT CC Nude Glow SPF 40 using chemical filters. This is priced at $47 for 1.08 ounce or 32 mLs, making it the most expensive tint I am sharing with you today. This does come in 22 shades, which is also the most shades of any of the tints I'm sharing with you today. The claims: medium coverage hydrating skin tint brightening glow serum. They claim it can replace your moisturizer, your skincare, your SPF. I do not agree with any of those claims. This cannot replace my SPF, and I never use makeup as skincare. It might replace my moisturizer in the summer. I really do need to try that. Ingredients. Now, I misspoke earlier because this does contain essential oils. It also contains fragrance. So this does have that citrusy type scent, typical of the other IT CC creams. It does have some really nice skin-loving ingredients, including glycerin, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and green tea. I am in the shade Light, just like I was the original CC cream. I love the squeezy tube with a pump, and I'm going to show you the consistency of this in comparison to the original IT CC cream. You know, I used to love the IT CC cream, and I used up a couple of tubes, but I haven't had it for a while, so I actually purchased a mini so I could show you the tint comparison and the consistency comparison. Here is the Nude Glow. You can see it is definitely runnier, and here is the classic IT CC cream. This is definitely much lighter weight, and I think you can see the tint is definitely more neutral. The IT CC in Light is definitely more yellow golden undertones, and the Nude Glow is more neutral. This blends in seamlessly with fingers or a brush. It can be applied for a nice light coverage. It can also be built up to a more medium coverage. I do think this one offers the most coverage and is perhaps the most foundation-like of any of the other products I am sharing today. Yet, it feels very, very lightweight on the skin and beautifully moisturizing. Like the original CC cream, it does stay tacky for quite a while. I do tend to use a powder over this one to keep the shine down. This does not accentuate dry patches, but it definitely slips into my deeper forehead lines, which I can easily smooth out with my fingers, and powder does help. With powder, I can get pretty much a full day wear out of this, which is one of the reasons I rank this slightly higher than the Saie Slip Tint. Although, as the day wears on, it gets dewier and dewier. So like the Saie, I do think I will get more use out of this in the winter when my skin is extra dry. These last two are my current favorites of any I am sharing with you today, and they look so incredibly similar on the skin. I am wearing them both. On this side of my face, I'm wearing the iconic London Super Smoother Blurring Skin Tint. That's a mouthful. This is $32 for 30 mLs. It comes in 18 shades, and I am in the shade Neutral Light. This is cruelty-free, fragrance-free, does not contain any SPF, does contain glycerin, dimethicone, and green tea extract. It's very liquidy, so you have to give it a really good shake. And I want to show you the consistency. You know, I love squeezy tubes usually, but this one does tend to get just a little bit messy. Not too thick, not overly liquidy, but it's super lightweight and it blends effortlessly into the skin. This claims to be a lightweight, ultra hydrating skin tint that delivers a blurred and flawless satin matte, light coverage second skin, long wearing finish for up to 12 hours. This blends seamlessly with the fingers for a beautiful light coverage. It can be built up just a tad to perhaps a light medium coverage. Really pretty, natural satin skin-like finish. I would not call this matte. This feels weightless on the skin. It looks like skin. It feels like skin. Does not accentuate dry patches, does not settle into lines and wrinkles, and I can get a full day of wear out of this without any setting powder. I think even oily skin gals would enjoy this one. On this side of my face, I am wearing the NEUTRAGENA HYDROBOOST Hydrating Tint. At only $15 for 30 mLs, it is the most affordable of everything I am sharing with you today, and one of the oldest. It won the Allure Best of Beauty in 2017. An oldie, but a goodie. Ingredients: it is fragrance-free, oil-free, does not contain any SPF. It does contain glycerin, hyaluronic acid, dimethicone, and mica. It only comes in 10 shades. Luckily, shade Nude 40 is perfect for me. And I have to say, the only thing I don't love about this is the doe foot applicator, but I think you can see it's a really good shade match for me. The claims: boost your skin's hydration and even out your complexion with this hydrating tint. The weightless formula is better for your skin than wearing no foundation at all. Even though I don't love the doe foot applicator, it does blend really easily with the fingers for a really pretty light coverage. It can be built up a bit to a very light medium coverage. It feels incredibly lightweight, yet moisturizing. Absolutely no accentuating dry patches, no settling in wrinkles. It just looks like skin. A really lovely, natural, radiant, skin-like finish that wears quite well without any added powder. While these top two definitely look very, very similar on the skin, I did rate the Neutrogena a little bit higher. It does feel just a little bit more moisturizing on my dry skin, and it offers just a tad more radiance. Now, this might not be quite as long lasting as the iconic London, but I can get a full day wear out of this without any powder for half the price. I am just finishing up editing this video, and I have to say, I was so impressed with how beautiful the Kjaer WEIS looked on my skin. If I could reshoot this video, I would probably put this in the number 3 position. In spite of the fact that this can be a little bit tricky to blend, it looked so gorgeous that I think it's worth the effort. Anyway, I can't wait to see what Cindy came up with. Please make sure to pay her a visit and subscribe. Let's help her get to 10,000 subscribers. And with that, have yourself a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.